John McIntyre reined in his horse along the ridge above Cottonwood Creek, overlooking Paradise Valley below. The vista before him never failed to impress him, and this perfect fall day with its cloudless sky was no exception. He fished inside his leather vest pocket for a piece of paper and read it for the third time. "I need your help, John. After I left Paradise Valley, I received a letter from my sister, Rachel, that has me very disturbed. She is now working in a saloon called the Wild Horse as a dance hall girl. You have to get her out of that situation until I can return. I'm begging you, do what needs to be done. Horse tie her if you have to, and knowing her fiery disposition, you might have to. Get her out of there before it's too late to save her reputation. With all your connections, maybe you can find her a decent job. Your friend, Preston Matthews." John sighed, wishing he didn't have to get tangled up in a situation not of his own doing, and he stuffed the letter back into his vest pocket. He'd known Preston a long time and didn't want to let his friend down. A saloon was no place for Preston's sister. John hadn't seen Rachel since she was a gangly adolescent, and he'd already graduated from high school. Would he even recognize her now? He remembered a time when they'd argued at a church picnic after he didn't want to enter the potato sack race with a girl. She could never take no for an answer. With a gentle tug of the reins, he turned Cutter in the direction of the trail into Cottonwood. He wanted to get this done and get back to his ranch on the outskirts of town as quickly as possible, and he only knew of one way to do it. John made his way through dust-filled Main Street, hearing piano music coming from the saloon long before he reached the hitching post. He dismounted, then stepped aside to let two drunks stagger through the swinging cafe doors. They dissolved into laughter and slapped one another on the back. The odor of liquor was strong, and he wondered how on earth a man could derive any pleasure from imbibing and losing control. He preferred to stay in control, most of the time. He strode into the Wild Horse, his senses assaulted with the buzz of activity and music. There were girls dancing on a small stage, twirling about in scanty satin outfits, their bare legs kicking high into the air while they kept time with the beat of the banged-out notes of the piano. He scanned the room quickly, noticing men oblivious to the dance hall girls while they concentrated on their cards. He was surprised it was crowded this early. It wasn't even dark yet. John looked from left to right at the young dancers' faces until he spotted Rachel. He strode to the stage and in one leap was in the middle of them, ignoring someone who yelled for him to get down. After lifting a strawberry blonde off her feet, he moved down to the floor again. "What the devil do you think you're doing?" The young girl thrashed about and pushed against his chest. "Rachel, you need to come with me now," he ordered. "I'm not Rachel, you fool. Let go of me." She twisted away. "I doubt Rachel's gonna let you manhandle her either." She giggled, covering her mouth in an attempt to hide the gap between her teeth. "Begging your pardon, ma'am," he said, stepping back before swinging his line of vision across the stage floor to peer at each painted face. Some of the ladies were still dancing, but one stopped, placing her hands on her hips and glaring at him. That's Rachel. In 2 strides, he was up the steps on the stage and lifting her unceremoniously to his shoulder, despite the pounding of her fists on his back and unintelligible mutters under her breath. The music stopped and the piano player stood up. "Where do you think you're going with Rachel?" "Move aside, man," he said, pushing his way through the crowd who stood by watching. "Don't get in the way of a lover's quarrel." "I ain't never seed you here afore," a snaggletooth patron sputtered. "Let me go, you brute!" the lady yelled, kicking her heels in the air. John ignored her protest, continuing on past the cafe doors and straight to his horse. He straddled Cutter and, holding tightly to Rachel, settled her on his saddle. One swift kick in the side of his horse and they galloped off, leaving bystanders in a cloud of thick dust.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.